Yo, what's up, guys? Hope you're all doing very well today. I'll just give it like another minute and then go from there. And then we'll start our live stream. It's going to be a short one today, maybe 10-15 minutes at most. But I thought it'd be really important to get this information out. I'm tired right now. I was just on the elliptical for like 10 minutes hard. Okay, so Bitcoin broke a new high, right? Hey guys, if you guys love these hats, I'm finally going to start selling them because I think everybody thinks they're pretty cool. Day Traders Club, Team Philakone. There's also the pink one for your lady. Really comfortable hats. And you know my idea last time of actually making a mouse pad with the rules on it? I've actually began that already. So I'm just going to create like a little merch store because I think it's pretty important to elevate your trading experience with Team Philakone Essentials. So, like, I'm passionate about day trading, and so are you, and we have an amazing community in the Discord group and in crypto and everything surrounding it. So, the Team Philakone, like, merch that I'm going to have, the idea behind it is to empower traders to pursue their financial goals with confidence, style, and a sense of community. And I want you to believe that day trading is not just about skill and knowledge. It's also about having the right mindset and attitude as well. So that's what my hat and my t-shirt and my mousepad is designed to do. It's designed to inspire and motivate traders to push themselves to new heights, to think creatively, and to never give up on their dreams. And whether you're a seasoned pro or starting out, I'm pretty sure that I will have what you want to express your passion for day trading. And you can join Team Philakone. And the mousepad's going to be really cool because it has, like, on the right side, it's hard to see here, but I have a gigantic mousepad. It'll be about this size. And the right side where your mouse is, it's going to have 13 rules. Let me read you guys the rules of day trading. And I designed 2 different charts. So one of them, for the reason why it's important to have a set of rules in front of you always is so you read them and don't forget them. And it makes sure that if you read them every day before you take a trade, every day when you wake up, every day before you go to bed, and it's on your desk, on your mousepad, you will eventually have these rules engraved in your head. So first of all, there's mousepad number 1, okay? The quick checklist for successful day trading. And you have to say yes to all of these, okay, before you enter a trade. If you don't say yes to every single one of these criterias, you're doing it wrong. It's probably why you're not successful right now, or if you're not making profitable income, like, consistently. So myself, I go through this checklist in my head very quickly every day, and you should be doing this as well no matter what. You have to go through this series of a checklist and ask yourself, will I be disciplined and stick to my trading plan? Do I have multiple reasons to enter this trade? Am I likely to win a trade? Do I have an entry, an exit, and a stop loss? Is my RR defined? Will I wait for confirmation before entering? How much will I risk? How long will this trade take? Is my position size acceptable? Is my leverage acceptable? Am I confident taking this trade? Will I stick to my stop loss and cut the losses fast? Will I document and review this trade? If you have an answer and it's yes to all of these questions, then you should take this trade, and every day you should be reading it. And then there's the 12 commandments of trading as well. Every single time before you take a trade, you say to yourself, I will always maintain discipline and stick to my trading plan. I will always only take trades with multiple reasons to enter. I will always have a risk to reward ratio. I will always have an entry, an exit, and a stop loss. I will always wait for confirmation before entering a trade. I will always use leverage cautiously and never over 3x. I will always risk a maximum of 2% per trade. I will always never trade over 80% of my account size. I will never add to a losing position. I will always never let a small loss turn into a catastrophic one. I will always never hesitate to cut my losses quickly. I will always never revenge trade. I will always document and review every single trade. If you guys don't understand the importance of having this checklist and this rule list, you're doing it wrong, guys. I'm not kidding. I'm sure that most of you guys are probably just impulsively trading and you're just going with the flow. It's like, yep, I think it's going to do this here. But if you actually have like a rule list that you read every single time before you enter, you might be like, you might go through one of them and then you ask yourself, am I over leveraged? And then it's actually in the rule list there where you're checking it. You're like, oh crap, I am a little bit over leveraged. And it's going to set you straight, man. Like it's, and then it's like, do I have enough confirmation to enter this trade? When you start systematically asking yourself these things, you're going to become a better trader guaranteed. That is why I'm going to design the coolest freaking mouse pad. You guys are going to love it. And it's going to have the rules right in front of you with some really cool designs. And it's going to be sold for really cheap. I don't know the price yet, but I'm probably guessing like $599. I'm just kidding. It comes with my course for free. No, it won't be that much. It'll probably be like $59.99. That sounds like a reasonable price. So let's do this, guys. Bitcoin broke to a crazy high as predicted, right? And I told you guys exactly how to trade it yesterday. And I hope that some of you guys actually get in on this, okay? So check this out right here. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Did I trade this at all? Yes, I made one trade last night. Actually, not last night, this afternoon. I was up for like 18 hours. Couldn't sleep, so I waited for this breakout. And this was the only thing that I actually traded in here yesterday. So this one here was a complicated setup. I would say really complicated, but I identified a channel and especially a support and also the 15 EMA. So the way I drew it was like this, okay? I drew it something like that, and that fit my criteria to enter really well. And then if you take a look at the 15 EMA, you'll see this as well. So the 15 minute 55 EMA, you see it bounce there, and then you see it double bottom over here. So it pretty much double bottomed once, twice, and this is where I entered it, but I exited really early, man, like at 24.4, like around there. So I only made like a few $1,000s. I think it was 5,000, and then I just went to bed after that because it was already around like 1 o'clock and I was super tired. So had I held on to my position, honestly, what would have happened was this. If I had held on to my position, I would have got stopped out with a trailing stop. So I would have probably set a trailing stop to around here, right? And we pretty much almost got to it. So I probably would have stopped myself out. And this breakout here probably would have been really hard to catch for most people because you don't really know exactly where it is or how it's sloped. But this looks to be right. So let's just say, for example, that a new high has been made. So the high is like around there roughly, you can say, right? It was around this wick right here because this one made a nasty candle on 30 minute. So you would probably consider that the resistance. I said in my last video very clearly that playing a breakout is extremely dangerous, super dangerous. So the chances of you catching a breakout is really difficult because most of the times you're just going to get stopped out. So what I'm going to go over with you guys today are two things. One, a prediction for Bitcoin, and two, how to play confirmations like a professional, okay? Hold on, I'm just reading the chat here. Okay, first of all, I want to be clear about the differences between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. A lot of amateurs will say things like, you can't trade only technically. And then a lot of amateurs will say things like, you need to make sure you're always watching fundamental news because the charts can't predict any of this stuff. Well, keep in mind that the philosophy of technical analysis is that all information is included in the price charts. And what you see on the screen in the candle, it indicates the price action for fundamental news. And that needs to be understood. So let's just say that there's a fundamental news that's going on in the world, despite maybe not, let's just say a guy only trades 100% technically. Like I follow the fundamental news every single day. So let's just say that like there's a person who trades only technically, right? And they don't really follow the news that much. They're in the loop, but they're not that aware of it. Let's say there's like some sort of release, right? So let's say there's like, CPI news release or the FOMC, like things like that, right? Or Jerome Powell, he speaks as well. And whenever he speaks, fundamentally, there's something going on in the world. And then immediately when he speaks, something in the charts for price action, it reflects what just happened in the fundamental world. Do you understand that? So despite not knowing exactly what's going on, these candlesticks, they tell a story of what's going on in the real life world. So you might believe that you need to balance both of them, but man, I know a lot of successful, like 20 millionaires that don't give a crap about fundamental news. They just follow the charts technically because they understand the philosophy of being a technical trader, and they understand that everything you see in the charts, it's reflecting the real life world fundamentally as well. So that needs to be understood. Okay. So right now, regardless of what happened, there's something clearly fundamentally going on in the world. I haven't caught up with the news yet, and that's why these breakouts occurred. So what I said yesterday was, when this breakout occurred, so the breakout occurred at basically this point right here. You would agree, okay? You would all agree with me that that's the breakout point. So how would you have played this? This is how I would have played it if I was awake. First of all, I identify the channel, and secondly, identify the horizontal resistance. That means that right here in this area, that's where the breakout would be. So now that the breakout is occurring, you have to zoom in on a really low time frame. Identify the region of the breakout, which is right here, and then you can do one of two things. One, you can wait for a pullback. By the way, if you enter on the breakout, you could have been screwed. Entering on that breakout would have been the equivalent of entering on this breakout right here. Do you guys see what happened? There's no bullish momentum that continues, right? So you would have been bull trapped. Same thing over here as well. If you had entered here, you easily could have been bull trapped. So you could do one of two things if you like. First of all, you wait for the breakout to occur, and you wait for a pullback, and then you wait for a test, and then when the test is successful, that's where you could enter. So here, we get a wick to the downside with a Harambe bullish candle. That Harambe bullish candle is important to understand. Let me show you it. Oh, sorry, Harami bullish candle. Harambe. Thinking of the gorilla. So let me show you this. This is what a Harami bullish candle is. There's a red candle, and then the next candle after that, there's a green candle inside of it. There's a red candle, and then a green candle inside of it. Harambe. Shit. Oh man, that was really funny. I'm trying to be serious here for a moment, guys. Okay, so Harambe, fuck. Don't shoot me, guys. Don't shoot me. But I was just trying to save the child, you know? It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, right? You never know what a gorilla can do. That's the scary part, right? Anyways, I'm not going to bring back old news. Rest in peace, Harambe candle. So this is a Harambe candle right here. So the Harambe candle, it occurs after a gigantic red one, and it stays within the red candle. See that? So then after that, you could have entered on here and taken a chance, stopping yourself out back below the support. Okay, that's one way to enter. You wait for a confirmation. So there's got to be combinations of things that happen for you to enter this trade. And this is super important because you need to redefine the way that you enter breakouts. Because I know for a fact that most of you guys are probably doing it wrong. I used to do it wrong for like 6 years. I would like wait for a breakout and buy. Damn it. Just false breakout. Bull trap. Stopping myself out 0.5%. Breakout again. Damn it. I bought. False breakout. What do? Stop yourself out 5% again. How many times can these false breakouts happen before those 0.5 to 1% stop losses add up to like 4 or 5? And then you're screwed. So when you think about making those mistakes, you have to redefine the way you think about breakouts. So one thing you got to really add to your trading is confirmation. More confirmation, it means less risk and also less profit. But less risk long term with more confirmation, it's much more profitable than more risk and possibly more profit, because we want to minimize our risk as little as we can. And if we protect our capital, that's how you grow it. Because we all know the number one reason that we all lose a lot of money. We don't stick to our stop loss, and we don't wait for confirmation enough, and we let these losses ride, and they turn catastrophic. You just made 6 straight trades in a row and you made a lot of money, and it took you like a week to make all these profits. And then in this 1 hour trade that you just took, you literally got obliterated in this one trade. 1 hour, it wiped out the entire 7 days of work. So adding confirmation to your trading is what's going to make you be much more profitable and minimize your risk. So this is how you're adding confirmation. This is step 1, okay? Or the first way to do it. You wait for confirmation on a rejection or a pullback. There's a Harambe right here, the bullish Harambe, and the price action shows wicks coming down. It starts going up. So you wait for the breakout, zoom in on a low time frame, and wait for a pullback and confirmation of a support, okay? And then you keep going. That's one way. So another way is this, okay? You can look at indicators as well. Notice how you're seeing this kind of try to go back down. At this point right here, you definitely see the MACD trying to cross down, but it doesn't cross down. It actually continues up. So you could have bought it on the continuation upwards when the momentum has changed. In fact, the best way to have done it was to wait for a high roughly. I always take the body, not the wick. I don't like taking wicks because these are bull trap regions, so I take the body. So then once you've confirmed the MACD is trending upwards, so you see a rejection going down there. And then you see the breakout going upwards. And this is where you buy, guys. You buy it on this breakout, okay, with a big green candle, and you set your stop loss for slightly below it. That is how a professional trader trades. Okay, they don't buy right there because more often enough, you're going to get screwed. So right now, you would have set your stop loss for around right there, or sorry, here, 25,300 range. And now that the price is going upwards, right? Now that you're already in profit, what you would do is, let's say that this was your stop loss, okay? Let's say that, well, I'll make this green box your stop loss. Now that you've entered, you're setting a stop loss slightly below it. So what a professional trader does is this, okay? They don't just let it drop back down and be like, all right, crap, I'm just going to take my stop loss here and break even. No, what they do is they constantly trail their stop loss. When trailing your stop loss means that you're ensuring you take profit. Okay, so you raise this stop loss to a more reasonable place now, such as up here. And this guarantees that if the price reverses, at least you're making a good amount of profit and you're taking some. So that's the difference between a professional trader. Like I trade $1 million. Like I trade up to like 1.5 mil, as you guys know. So trust me when I'm telling you that you gotta have this different set of skills to trade that big. Because if you don't, you cannot maintain that level of trading. I mean, imagine if you were given $1 million, how quickly some people would blow it. Like they would blow it so fast. I always hear this. Philakone, you only make a big percent profit because 1% of a big number is a big number. So they're just saying that I only make profit, like a big profit, because I've got a big bankroll. But man, I earned that right to play that big, right? So you have to build up your bankroll, which will go up proportionally with your skills so you can manage that amount of money. Because if you were just thrown into the wolves, right, and if you don't know how to swim, but you're being thrown into the ocean, well, you better sink or swim, man. And and you got $1 million to trade in the market. Chances are, if your skills are not up there and you can't manage these positions properly, probably not going to do that well. And the chances of you losing is incredibly high, right? So that's how you could have traded this easily. And I do this all the time, right? These kind of breakouts. Like last month, I was on I think $75,000 win streak for Bitcoin. So it's just, I love to trade Bitcoin. So another segue that I got to go into is that alts, they don't perform nearly as well as Bitcoin when the market moves. So you can see that alts are not really doing that great. Like they're really not. There's some coins that are going to do really well and outperform Bitcoin, but whenever Bitcoin is at a bottom, like how we were this year and just a few days ago, whenever we're at a bottom, money is taken out of the alt market and they're injected into the Bitcoin market instead. And that's why you see Bitcoin dominance soar. Bitcoin dominance is at 48% right now from 43. So it went up like over 10% from 43, like 5% total there. in just 4 days. So money is being taken out from alts, put into Bitcoin, and the pump is happening. That's why you don't see alts recovering that much. Let me just give you an example. Okay, some coins like IMX, yeah, they're doing great. But have you guys noticed the high in February? Alts haven't really broken it yet. Even though IMX is performing well, it hasn't broken it. STX hasn't broken that high either. Tom hasn't broken it. Taking a look at my portfolio, right? AVE is only retraced like 50% of the previous high. AVAX is also retracing maybe 50%. Sol is doing better than most, I think. It's over 50%. Link is doing all right. So comparing it to the high, none of these alts in my portfolio are performing well. And we can say that because, well, Bitcoin actually broke the high, okay, of February already. But none of these alts did. Okay, so some coins are going to perform very well, some are not. That is why when Bitcoin's at a bottom, I prefer to trade Bitcoin because I make more money on Bitcoin. And it's also really difficult to filter through like 144 coins and be like, okay, this one is going to outperform Bitcoin. I'm going to trade this one. You just don't know which one's going to outperform it. So it's better to just stick to Bitcoin. And that's going to be the benchmark of the market anyways. So I'll stick to Bitcoin and trade that only. And then when Bitcoin reaches like a really high number, usually what happens is people sell them off, right? And then Bitcoins are still at the bottom and then they alternate seasons, Bitcoin and alt season. And usually when this happens is like September, I would say, like around September. Like, let me just show you guys an example of a September month. It always happens. It's like August, September. That's where these kind of coins shine. So let me just give you an example in 2017's bull market, right? So we're seeing like September bottom out, and then October, it's from here on, it starts to rally huge. Let's look at IOTA, for example. So IOTA did something very, very similar as well. Let's see if we have data from far back. IOTA is one of my favorite coins from back in the days. So I love them. I don't think they have anything here. So see Omizi Go. So Omizi Go, same thing as well. See, like around here, August month, it starts to really rally. September as well. And then we take a look at last year, or in 2022, or sorry, 2021, we take a look at like September months, right? This is where it really starts to rally around September month. So we just start going to the upside. That is probably going to be the point where I consider taking some profit on Bitcoin and then loading up on alts. So I'd be shifting my profit from Bitcoin to my alts, and I would expect Bitcoin dominance to keep going up steadily, like, you know, like maybe 60, 70% or so for the bull market. So that's how I recommend that you guys consider resistances and confirmations. And let's talk about how this resistance is really coming up, okay? So we see a major resistance coming up. People predicted this back in February, where they're like, okay, well, this is a resistance here, okay? 100%, it's a resistance. So if you were to bar replay this, like back in the days, people just did this. They just drew a line. This is a pretty good looking line to me. And then people were just like, all right, so we're probably going to hit that. So if you just take a look at it, it flirts with that region quite a bit, right? So then it rejects. So it's coming up again. We can't really deny. I'm going to draw it better, actually. It's coming up again. I'd probably take the average a little bit better, like this perhaps. So it might have hit it already, okay? It either hit it already or there's a little bit more to go. Which one do you guys think? Hit it already or a little bit more to go? Because this resistance, it's been going on for 53 days now. So we can't deny it because it hit right here. Since it hit right there, it's probably going to have some sort of trouble hitting here as well. So now this is the difficult part. What the heck is this? Is this a corrective wave or is this actually a downtrend? That's where it's becoming extremely difficult. So if we take a look on for example, the MACDs here, and first of all, the resistance, like we broke this resistance with flying colors, right? But it doesn't mean we're out of hot waters yet because there's still this resistance. And if you draw it on a different time frame, it actually looks like we're there already, right? On the weekly chart, it looks like we're there already. And keep in mind that trend lines are very subjective, right? So it's either we're there already or we're getting close. But on the weekly, we're still trending up, guys. Still a massive uptrend. On the weekly, we now are above the 55 EMA. Okay, so we're back above bullish territory, 55 EMA. So are we going to close above it? If we do, then that means that next week we have to actually close a candle above it. So closing above it means nothing. You got to close a candle above it. That's where it's important. So if you look on the 4-day, the 4-day tried to get bearish on that one right there. Okay, right here. But the bulls recovered over the past stretch of 4 days. So 8 days, the bulls have jumped up histogram ticks. Okay, so then you take a look at the 3-day, it's actually heading its way up as well. So everything seems pretty bullish right now for Bitcoin. Definitely. Let's take a look at historical data. Coin market cap. Let me just give me a second to pull this up here. It's been a while since I've gone to coin market cap. Let's just go to Bitcoin, and then you go to historical data, and you're going to see that the volume has significantly picked up. If you take a look in the prior week, we're looking at 11, 13, 17, 22 billion. But look at this week, it's like 30, 39, 30, 29. And today was the biggest one so far at pretty much $50 billion of 24-hour volume. So definitely we've got volume, we've got indicators trending to the upside. We've got, MACDs going upwards, 55 EMA. It's all above that right now. But the most important one to take a look at still is going to be the 200 and also the 55 moving average. So let's just see how this trends. I'll clear everything up. So what we see on the weekly, actually on the daily first, is that the golden crossover happened on the daily where the 200 is below the 55. We tried to get back down it, but the bulls let it dip and then it just recovered super bullishly. So whenever we get like a crossover, usually what happens is there's a retest that's incoming and it's either going to completely go down or it's going to bounce back up. In this case, we bounced. But on the weekly, this is where it's getting more interesting. We've now broken above the 55 and the 200 on the weekly. So this is looking great. So maybe the white line will continue to act as a support. And then maybe the yellow line will stay exactly the way it is and it bounces. So if this were the case, where the white line stays on the bottom, that means we have avoided a death cross. And it would be incredibly bullish. So that's where my thoughts stand on that. So I just wanted to briefly touch up for you guys on just confirmation in general. So a resistance break, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a trend reversal. As you can see here, even though there is a resistance break, there's still another major resistance that's in the way, as we can see right now. So we have to really look at the price action a little bit further in advance. And we've confirmed that the volume is there. That's one thing you've always got to watch out for, volume. We know that the volume picked up today, but tomorrow there could be more volume as well, but it could be a sell volume, right? So you have to really monitor the price action and to really take a look at these technicals. So the technicals I was talking about are the moving averages. Are we getting above them? Are we going to stay above it as well? So just remember that a resistance break, it can be very volatile, but you got to really approach it with discipline and caution and not get too excited at all. So in general, I would say that waiting for a confirmation to enter the trade that I explained to you earlier, it's key to be successful. But unfortunately, you missed it already, okay, guys? You missed that potential breakout. So there's no point of entering a long now since you're literally out of resistance. If this resistance breaks, the one that I outlined in the white right there, if that breaks to the upside, then you would utilize the same strategy that I talked about earlier of letting it rally first, wait for the first pullback, and then enter on the support of the pullback or enter on the breakout of that previous high. So you got to really be patient and make your rules incredibly clear. Wait for that pullback, wait for that confirmation, watch the volume, be extremely patient when it comes to continuation trends, because these continuation trends, guys, trust me, it's going to be the difference between you making $10,000 or $1 million in the next bull market. I have refined my strategy so much and I know exactly how I'm going to be trading the market. So guys, there's only one slot left actually. Every month I release 5 slots for my Discord group with a lifetime Discord membership and also the Ultimate Bull Market Strategy Guide, 40% off. DM me, pay by crypto. It's normally $17.50. It's on sale to $10.50 right now by crypto, and there's only one slot. You know what? The last person DM me for that last slot, and instead of giving you 40% off, I'll make you an even better deal just because I want to fill that slot and get it done with and not talk about it again for a month. So I'm going to go into some questions. I really mean that, by the way. Just DM me and I'll give you a better deal than 40% off for the lifetime membership. So I'm going to go over some questions. Guys, my pre-workout's kicking in. You guys see this? My pre-workout's like kicking in. By the way, I've been on a 14-day crazy diet. 400 calories a day burned on the treadmill, exercising. I've lost so much weight. I've lost like almost 13 pounds now in literally 13 days. Don't know how that's possible, but I did it and I'm feeling great. And I think health is really important. And make sure you guys take care of your health. You are all going to be millionaires one day. I know it. And when you are a millionaire, you're going to look up to other millionaires and learn that health is a really important aspect of life. You got to look the part as well and take care of that heart because you want to live long enough to enjoy it, right? And I think that in the next bull market, you guys have to do well. I'm counting on you to do well. You know, when you go on vacations, you see people who are retired on vacations, right? And you're going on like a canal cruise or something in the afternoon, and like an old couple is like sleeping on the boat, right? Or an old couple is like walking around with their crane around like downtown Amsterdam or in Turkey, and they're like helping each other and they're so old. But my point is like, why wait till you're really old to take vacations and to spend your money? You want to be young enough to enjoy it while you can. So this next bull market, I'm really counting on you guys to do super well so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor and from your hard work that you put into the crypto market. Maybe not all of you will be millionaires, but I'm sure a lot of you, if you put in the time and the effort, you're going to grow your income from wherever you're at now with proper discipline and focus on this coming up market, because it's coming, guys. It's already almost April. It's only 1 year until the halving. Like I was saying this in December that, guys, next bull market's coming, right? It's coming, whether you like it or not. So you better be prepared because I want to see all of you guys work to your maximum potential and not slack off. Because the last thing I want are for lazy motherfuckers to do well in this market, and they won't. And you don't want to be one of those people. You're going to be the opposite. You're going to apply more effort than the guy to your left or to your right, and you're going to do well. So keep telling yourself that until you firmly believe it. Right? Even if you don't believe it right now, keep telling yourself that you're going to put your mentality in a spot of success, so you're going to reach for it. So anyways, I'm going to start taking some questions now. Hi, everybody at the beginning. Oh, you like the cap, eh, Carlos Blanco? Nice, nice. Hey, make sure you guys like my content if you like it. Like it, subscribe to it, follow me. You know, have my children. Thank you very much, Crypto Chick. You know, before like 5 years ago, I'd be like, "Ooh, who's this chick?" You know, like use my clout. Yeah, I've got followers. I can talk to any chick online. I'll give her my course for free, but what will I get back? I'm just kidding. But now it's like, I'm married. I don't really care. I can answer any technical questions for you guys, but if you're going to ask me about like CPI and macroeconomic factors and news, I'm not going to answer them because I am not an economist. I'm not going to pretend I read the news and can talk to you guys about it, right? So I have no idea. Scout Z asks, is it possibly finishing subwave 1 of 3? I don't know. It's hard to count this. Don't you think that the volume for today's pump is a little low? The volume is huge, bro. The volume is $50 billion. Yesterday's volume was $29 billion. We are at almost 80% more volume than yesterday. And it's also the highest volume that we've ever had all year. 49 billion? Yeah, this is the highest volume we've had all year. So I don't know what you're talking about when you say no volume. Yeah, today, confirmed. Today is the highest. Actually, today is the highest volume that we've had in 4 or 5 months. So you're completely wrong about the volume. Since November the 14th, that's the last time we've had this volume. Okay. Oh, do I have? I'm not sure what you guys talking about the title. Anyways, I think that's kind of it for today. My pre-volume is kicking in right now. So I'm gonna go run up a mountain and chase some mountain lions. Yes, I do. Like, cool, that's a really good question. I attract limitless prosperity. He asked. He asked, "Do I think continuation for upcoming months?" So yes, I do think that there will be continuation for the upcoming months, but I'm also really prepared for pullbacks. This is the year where you have the chance to not FOMO. So know that the year, not after the year. Okay, let me say this right. The year after the bear market. So the bear market was last year. The year after the bear market, there's always a crazy battle between the bulls and the bears. The bulls will rally like 50 or 60%, and then a huge pullback occurs. And then the bulls will rally 50, 60%, and then a huge pullback occurs again. This is the year where you really have a chance to dollar cost average on these pullbacks. And then the next year after, so 2024, that's the year where we steadily go up a little bit more. This is my prediction, like the bit cycles that we've seen every 4 years. And then 2025 will be like the major parabolic rally where there's no chance to DCA anymore. It's either you got in 2023, 2024 to prepare for 2025's bull market, or you missed out on it. So you got to really make these conscious decisions to start buying. Like a lot of people will buy now. Even I'm not saying to buy now, but I'm saying a lot of people will. And you got to wonder, like, in a year and a half when Bitcoin's 100,000, or if it's 100,000, will people really care if they got in at 25,000 or 17,000? Not really too much, actually, because they'll just be glad that they got in rather than miss that opportunity. Just like alts, it's a really good time to buy as well, in my opinion, because the alt market hasn't rallied as much as Bitcoin yet. Baller Thug Life, who would you like to play you in a movie? That's a good question. I don't know any Asian actors. During the bull market, how would you start dollar cost averaging? You wouldn't, Chris. It's too late, like I just explained. You don't dollar cost average in the bull market, really, because this is too late, man. It's like you're trying to, like you got in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Like you're gonna have a fight in a week, and then on the day of the fight, that's where you start preparing and you start training. No, it doesn't work like that. You start training 6 months before the fight, 3 months before the fight. If you don't start accumulating before the bull market, just like how if you don't train for a fight before the actual match, you're going to be screwed, man. You don't. The bull market is there to not dollar cost average. It's there to trade. Okay, you make the money from trading because everything's going up. Just like how if you're not studying for the bull market and you're not preparing for it in terms of your strategy, and then you start to study during the bull market, that's where you're going to be screwed because you didn't come prepared, man. You should have done your homework well before then. You can't rush during that moment. You got to prepare for it way before then. Of course I'm in F long term, Paul. What kind of question's that? I have 250 Ethereum. Yeah, I like 250. It's a good number. So I think I have something like, 340,000 or something. I don't remember. But I have a significant amount of Ethereum from a price of like $600, man. From way back in the days, just managing it. Of course, this is my portfolio, guys. Take a snapshot. Right here. That's my portfolio. And the next sector I'll be adding into the portfolio is going to be AI. AI is going to be a huge one. I'm also thinking of getting rid of Link and ADA. To be quite honest, Link and ADA, I just see Cardano at the exact same price like 5 years from now. I got rid of XRP because I don't really give a crap about them. They have too much fundamental difficulties, with the STC, and they haven't done anything in like 8 years. Like, come on. They've been trying to penetrate the Swift market forever, and I just don't see it happening anytime soon. So I'd rather diversify into something where I think it has more potential, like Polkadot. Did you guys know Polkadot has the third amount of most investors in the world? I bet you guys didn't know that. Bitcoin has the most developers, and then there's Ethereum, of course, and then there's Polkadot. Polkadot works secretly, and they make all these relationships with different businesses, and you guys have no idea like the potential for Polkadot. So I'm racking up Polkadot. I don't like podcasts, Charlie. I've never been on the podcast. I don't care for podcasts. But I would do really well in a podcast for sure, I think. Oh man, Scowls. No, I'm not going to buy my course, Scowls. But definitely buy my course. But I would recommend to like, if you're wanting to know how my entries are and my, what I do for trading, just go to my site at the bottom, bio.site/Philakone. Just watch my live trades. The best way to learn is to actually look at my live trades to see how I'm thinking during these trades. Guys, I gotta go. My pre-workout's kicking in. I'm ready to lift, man. Okay, bye guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Peace, love, everybody. And make sure you guys DM me if you're interested in the course of mine. 1 slot left this month for a better deal than 40%. Just hit me up. I'm happy to give it and help. Bye everybody and take care.